Okay, video 2. So I want to talk about what happens on Valentine's Day, because I told you that I went out and it was absolutely nuts. So my friend Emma and I went to her friend's house beforehand, and there was quite a few bottles of alcohol. There was maybe 5 bottles of champagne and half a bottle of vodka. It all went. So yeah, that was interesting. There was another girl that was invited, and she brought along somebody else who none of us like. So that was kind of like the beginning of a very interesting night. We caught the train into the city, and Emma knew someone. Emma knows a stripper, and so we were going to go visit this girl at the strip club. And so we made our way there, and for some reason we didn't go in. There were these guys trying to get in the club next door, but they couldn't get in because it was like a huge group of guys, and only some of them were able to get in. So they came up and asked if they could pay for Emma and I to get in, so they could get into the club, and we were just like, yeah, sure, of course. So we went in with them, and we told the other 3 girls that would meet them at Crown. We're in the club for maybe like 15 minutes, and then we left, and Emma and I, like, we were all pretty drunk when we got into the city. Like, yeah, we were gone. And so Emma was like, let's not meet up with the other girls, let's just spend the night, just you and I, it's Valentine's Day, we're single. And she's like, and it's just gonna be you and I anyway. So we didn't go meet up with the other girls. My god, it's such a blur. It was such a trashy night, and like, it's so terrible. But like, we didn't drink much when we got to Crown, because like, we had drunk so much, and like, we were really drunk. We met this guy from Germany and his Australian friend, and we were playing blackjack with them, and that's when I met Curtis Stone, which was awesome. And then we ditched those guys, and then we went and got a cocktail, and I was talking to some guys there, and Emma was like, oh, I have to go to the toilet, because she's like, I'm gonna be sick. And so she went off, and then she didn't come back for ages, so I went looking for her, and I went to the bathroom, and she wasn't in there, and I called her. I was like, where are you? And she's like, I'm lost, I'm in this part of the building, and there's like waterfalls and stairs. I'm like, okay, Emma, you're in the atrium. I'm like, stay right there. And so my feet were so sore, because like, they were brand new shoes, and like, they gave me the worst blisters, and I still have marks from them, like scabs. Anyway, I went down to the atrium, and she wasn't there, so I called her, and she was like, I'm in the food court, which was like at the opposite end of Crown, which is where I practically was before I headed down to the atrium. Like, I couldn't believe it. And then when I got to her, she was with these guys, Reese and Tristan, and I was like, God, what has she gotten herself into? And like, they bought her lasagna, and it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and she was so drunk, and like, we're both really drunk. I was probably sobering up a little bit, but Emma, like, it takes forever. And we ended up staying at their apartment that they had for the night in the city. Something about their work had given them, I don't even know. So that was nuts. So that was my Valentine's Day in a 4-minute nutshell. Far out. I'm sure a lot happened, but it was a while ago. What else? The week after was White Night. And I was a little bit hesitant to go. I went in by myself, which was really interesting. I probably wouldn't go in by myself again. I'll probably have like one other person with me, but last year I went to White Night. It was the first year in Australia, and that's actually where I met Daniel. And so it was a little bit weird going into White Night this year, knowing that, last year was when I met, Daniel. And so, yeah, that was really interesting. And I spent a lot of time sitting on Elizabeth Street because that's the only place I could get phone reception, and it was really quiet. And I met some people. I met these 16-year-olds that were like hilarious, and they kept me company. And I was talking to Daniel, and he was being really down, and he's like, oh God, I miss being in a relationship, and I miss the companionship, and just like, I'm like, you do realize it's been a year since we met? And he's like, I'm very, very aware of that. So like that really put me off. Like I was just like, eating, like, dude, come on. And then the guy that I met the week before, Reese, messaged me and said that he was at Crown. And so I went down and said hi, and I said to him, this was probably at like 11:30. I said to him, I was like, look, it's freezing. I'm like, I'll come down and say hi, and then I'll go. I was still at Crown at 2:30 talking to him. He's a really nice guy. He's older than me. He's like 28. But like, yeah, he's really nice. Emma thinks that we should date. I don't know. That's going to go into my guy trouble topic later on. Uni has been a bit weird because I don't have any contact hours, so I mean, I'm not as motivated to go in. All I have to do to pass my course now is to get an internship and do this newsroom unit, which is basically like we have this online newsroom, so we have to provide content to go up on the newsroom, so I have to do that, and that's it. Like, I don't have any contact hours. It's really hard, and because now I have to pay full fare for public transport, it's really expensive to go in for hardly anything. So I've been emailing Sky News Australia about internships, so I'm really excited about that. What else? I'm writing a story about fan fiction. I've emailed the fan fiction comedy group because they're going to be at the Melbourne International Comedy Festival, so I'm also really excited about that. That'll be really cool. I think that's going to be a great story. Yeah, so my sister, oh my god, I'm sorry I'm going through all of this so quick, but I'm just like really conscious of the time. I'm at 7 minutes, and like, but anyway, my sister got engaged, like for real engaged, and I didn't know for like 4 days after it happened. And the only reason why I found out was because my friend Nino messaged me, and he goes, what's going on with Karen and her boyfriend? He's like, I'm really worried. And I was like, what are you talking about? Because I don't have Karen on Facebook. And he told me, and I was just like flipping out, and I looked on her Facebook to see if I could see anything, and what came up was that she's engaged, and everyone was like, are you serious? Like, is this actually a real thing? And she's like, yeah, and she has a ring and everything. She wears it. Anyway, that's a crazy topic. And last night there was some stuff going on between her and, I'm going to say boyfriend, because like fiancés are weird, and Karen's younger than me, so that's weird. And Karen was really upset that her boyfriend was going out, and I was like, why are you so upset? And she's like, well, last time this kind of thing happened, he cheated on me. And I was like, why are you with him? I'm like, he cheated, why? Just why? God, I don't understand. But like, she's really stubborn, like myself, which I discovered last weekend. So yeah, that's a tough one. I'm at a bit of a career crisis. I've been, Daniel got a job at Village Cinemas as a, I don't know, some head officey type job. And, I was like, oh my god, I'm doing this, diploma. I only have 2 units, and, like, I was freaking out, and I was like, I don't know if journalism is what I want to do, and, like, I really love working in retail, and I love, customer service, but I also love writing, and, like, I just don't know how to put the two together, and, like, unless I worked like with retail in a PR position, or worked in their marketing department. Like, I really, really don't know. So I'm still going through that. I'm a little bit better now that, like, I'm talking to people about internships, because, like, I don't want to, I'd prefer to be a producer. Like, that would be my ultimate goal, dream, whatever. Anyway, oh my god, guy trouble. I have had, like, I can't even explain. Oh my god. So not only, for some reason, Daniel is still in the mix, because lately he's been like, oh, you know, kind of like hinting that he's kind of like misses the relationship that we had, or like kind of regrets it or something, or like regrets that we broke up. I don't even know. Like, that's a whole different topic. Like, I don't even want to get into it, because like it just makes me so angry. There's this guy Chris that I met last year, and you know, we kind of hung out a bit like as a group with his mates, and so lately we've been talking a lot, and you know, he's like, oh, do you want to go for coffee? Like, he's like, oh, you know, kind of like flirting to the max. So there's one, and then there's this other guy that I went to uni with, and you know, he was like, oh, we should try the relationship kind of thing one day, you know, just you and I. And I was like, no. So that's another one. And then there's my really, really good friend Matt. He hasn't said anything to me, but he told Emma that, because we're going to go to the aquarium, and I said to Emma, I was like, do you want to go to the aquarium with us? And she was like, yeah, sure. And so I told Matt that Emma was tagging along, and then the day before the aquarium, I messaged her to see if it was still cool, and she's like, well, no, it's not. And she goes, are you aware that Matt's going to ask you if you like him? I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, yeah, Matt likes you a lot. So that's another one. And then there's Andrew, the guy that asked me ages ago if we could go for coffee, and like, oh, and yeah, and then there's Reese. When we were at Crown, this guy came up to Reese and I and was like, and you know, was having a chat, and then he was like, oh, are you guys dating? And I was like, straight out, no. I was like, no, we're not. And then Reese was like, like hesitating, like, oh my god, like, I really don't know. What I want to do is, like, this kind of thing happened last year when I met Daniel. Like, there was this other guy interested in me, and then like I went out with Daniel, like, just like, you know, the other guy just went away. Like, I mean, we still talk, but I kind of want to do that with this, like, just go find a guy, and then just like everyone else will forget about it. I don't know. Anyway, like, I have so much to talk about, but I'm just about to hit 13 minutes, and yeah. Anyway, I'll keep you up to date on stuff, like, especially like the internship things, and my guy trouble. I'm sure I will be posting on Tumblr later about it. I complain too much. Anyway, I really miss you. I'm sorry it took me so long to get back to you, and I hope everything's alright. I hope I hope your mum and dad's okay, and I hope Elise had a really good birthday, and I hope the weather's getting better, because, like, I know, like, snow days are great and everything, but I would be so sick of being so behind. So I hope the weather is getting better. Alright, I'll catch you later. See ya!